Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, Governor Janet Mills has tested positive for COVID-19. The governor making the announcement earlier this evening, saying in a statement, quote, "Other than a scratchy throat, I feel fine." She will isolate for at least 5 days in accordance with CDC guidelines. Governor Mills credits the COVID vaccine and boosters for her mild symptoms. You may remember the governor previously tested positive for COVID-19 in April of last year. She isolated and recovered within a matter of days. Given the circumstances, the governor will not be joining First Lady Jill Biden during her visit to Maine this week. And that takes us to our next story. First Lady Jill Biden will be headed to Maine on Wednesday. That trip is part of the Biden-Harris administration's Investing in America tour. The First Lady will be visiting Michigan, Maine, and Vermont, where she'll be highlighting learning programs that are preparing high school and community college students for good-paying jobs. Dr. Biden and U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona will tour the Southern Maine Community College campus in South Portland at around 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday. In other news tonight, a group of neo-Nazis held a rally in Portland on Saturday. Portland police say that a group of 20 to 30 people calling themselves the Nationalist Social Club held a march through the Old Port, Monument Square, and City Hall in Portland. According to the group's website, they're a neo-Nazi group with small chapters based in the New England region. The Portland Police Department says that the group was confronted several times and that some minor skirmishes broke out. However, no official complaints were filed with police and there were no reports of any serious injuries. Portland police say they monitored the event throughout and no arrests were made. Well, coming up, next now, as of Saturday night, those experiencing homelessness in Lewiston are no longer allowed to sleep outside on public property. The ban, which passed in December, has drawn controversy among those experiencing homelessness and their advocates. Asia Reed has more on what options the unhoused have, plus how police plan to enforce that ban.
Starting April 1st, people experiencing homelessness in Lewiston will be banned from sleeping in places in public.
They need to sleep someplace.
This ban follows a vote from Lewiston City councilors back in December, voting 4-3 in support of an amendment to ban people from sleeping, camping, or loitering on city property, including sleeping on a bench or camping in municipal woods from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Director of the Hope House Family Support Center in Lewiston, Bruce Wilson, says the center often helps folks who are experiencing homelessness.
When people struggle and the neighbors who are doing better ignore that, I think that's sad.
Wilson says the ban is heartbreaking. Lewiston Police Chief David St. Pierre said back in December the ban was proposed after receiving complaints about safety in the city. He also said officers do not plan to strictly enforce the ban on people who are not a safety concern.
The intent is not to criminalize anything, but it's to give us a little bit more power that we can move people along.
We understand that it might be dangerous for them to try to, like sleeping on our porch, because we also have other people that come, that we need to keep it a safe place for them.
Also back in December, several people experiencing homelessness spoke against the ban.
Now, you want to criminalize people for being homeless? That is absolutely disgusting.
It kind of breaks my heart.
Wilson says the center will continue to have open arms for Lewiston folks that need extra support. Chief St. Pierre has said unhoused people can get help at the police station.
Meanwhile, an annual fundraising hike returned to Bangor waterfront this Saturday in person for the first time since the start of the pandemic. Mainers from near and far turned out for the 28th annual Hike for the Homeless, benefiting the Bangor Area Homeless Shelter. Organizers say the event is the biggest fundraiser of the year for the shelter, which saw more than 2,000 visitors over the past year. Despite the rain, many gathered to show their support.
It's cold and it's wet, but when this is all over, we have a place to go and we can look forward to going and taking a warm shower. There are a lot of people out here in the streets today that don't have that option.
Organizers say that state and federal funds only provide 1/3 of the shelter's budget and that the group relies on donations in order to stay open. If you'd like to donate to the shelter, you can visit bangorareashelter.org. Well, they say you're not supposed to play with your food, but what about dressing up as a delicious vegetable? Our David Ledford spoke with volunteers who did just that for a good cause.
Thank you so much.
The 12th annual Hancock County Food Drive kicked off at 11 grocery stores across the region. From Bucksport to Winter Harbor, volunteers clad in their favorite fruit and vegetable costumes came out to raise funds and collect food for 19 food security organizations in Hancock County, including food pantries, school backpack programs, and free community meal programs.
It's really an incredible collaboration across the community, and now it's needed more than ever. With SNAP benefits being cut and rising food prices and rising fuel prices, the need is just greater than it ever has been.
Organizers say as many as 1 in 5 kids in Hancock County are in a food insecure household, and the month-long event helps to spread awareness of the issue.
We just have a lot of fun dressing up and getting people's attention so that they can sort of tune into the notion of food insecurity. If you haven't experienced it yourself, sometimes it's very difficult to understand how traumatic it can be for families.
The food drive will continue throughout April with a pancake breakfast, movie night in the park, a Miles for Meals challenge, and more. Organizers say the event's continued success is thanks to the generosity of Hancock County communities.
People show up for this project in a really big way. Like I said, this is our 12th year, and we're able to raise a lot of support in a short amount of time. Our goal is to raise $50,000 this year.
To learn more about the event or help out, visit hcfooddrive.org. In Ellsworth, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, a great goal and some great outfits to boot, too. Well, in other news, the transgender community is speaking out against a lawsuit filed by Bangor Christian School, which is suing to be able to receive public funding while also having the freedom to exclude certain groups of students from attending the school. We spoke to Maine Transgender Network Executive Director Quinn Gormley, who says the lawsuit flies in the face of well-established standards in the state of Maine on how state taxpayer dollars are spent. Gormley says if the school wants to receive public funding, they need to embrace and abide by the Maine Human Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity.
This is part of, I think, a coordinated effort to ensure that LGBTQ students, and I think any marginalized student, can't be protected so long as someone objects to the inconvenience of having to care about another human being's needs. If they don't want to follow those rules, they have the option as a private institution not to accept public funds, and they can discriminate against anyone they want to, if that's the case. So they need to decide which way they want to go. They don't get to have it both ways.
Bangor's American Rescue Plan Act funding will finally be made available to qualifying groups after nearly 2 years, thanks to the launch of a new website. Starting on Monday, local organizations can begin applying to receive a part of Bangor's more than $20 million remaining in pandemic relief funds. The city partnered with Heart of Maine United Way to accept and screen applications. Heart of Maine representatives say putting these funds to use is an important step for the city.
This ARPA funding is a critical investment for the city of Bangor and the surrounding communities. It provides an opportunity to really leverage change that's sustainable and community-wide and surrounding a lot of different areas.
The city of Bangor will ultimately decide which organizations receive the funding. The website will go live at 8 a.m. Monday morning, and groups will have until April 26th at 4 p.m. to submit applications. To reach the website, visit bangormaine.gov. A change of plans in Ellsworth. Just days after the Ellsworth Area Chamber of Commerce announced a new leader, that person has announced a change of heart. The chamber announcing Jacqueline Ewing will not be serving as executive director after all. She sent an email to the board to say she's decided to move forward in a different direction and will not be accepting the position. Ewing most recently worked as the director of the Women, Infants, and Children program in Hancock and Washington counties. According to WDEA Radio, the board will now continue the search for a new leader that will guide the chamber's transition into its next phase of growth. A weekend-long expo featuring dozens of Maine businesses wrapped up today in Bangor. Our Devin Dagnall was there and has the story.
Sunday marked the conclusion to the second annual Great Home Expo at the Bangor Cross Insurance Center. Director of the expo, Jess Pearl, says that this year's event featured double the businesses its predecessor did.
We've got over 80 local Maine businesses and organizations represented, a little bit of everything for everyone.
According to Pearl, the attendance for this year's expo easily topped last year's with well over 2,500 guests and brought with it a few more attractions for the whole family.
Of course, we have home improvement contractors set up, and we also have some things that you might not expect to see at a home show. We've got a couple of insurance agencies here, really trying to just offer services to anyone that might live in a home. We also have a kids corner up in the back, so that's been a busy corner as well.
Pearl says despite the sudden growth, the whole weekend went incredibly smooth.
Everybody is really easy to work with. They're excited to be face to face with people, and it's my favorite weekend. It's been a lot of fun.
The event saw a mix of seasoned home improvers looking to work on their next project and first-time home owners trying to get an idea of what could be.
So we're just looking for some inspiration. Bought a house a little bit over a year ago and just thought we'd come check it out.
It's been fantastic. Everybody here is very kind, very passionate about what they're doing. I don't feel oversold. I highly recommend it if you're not here yet, and if it's closed down, book it for next year.
In Bangor, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
4 new ice water rescue technicians were certified with Leaf Fire Rescue this weekend. Check this out. The department conducted ice water rescue training on Saturday, sharing these photos on their Facebook page. After the indoor portion of training wrapped up, it was time for the crew to suit up and head into the water. The training served as a learning opportunity for the rest of the department, too, with crew members becoming more aware of the operations involved and having the important jobs of managing the lifelines. So congratulations goes out to the newly certified ice water rescue technicians. Certainly some important work and some important training there, too. I'm sure it was very frigid and they were happy to get warm afterwards. And overall, though, a pretty nice day for us today. And we're going to take a pause now and find out what's coming our way weather-wise in the coming hours.
What a nice day out there today. Good amount of sunshine. Temperatures, though, not as warm. Barely any clouds showing up. Just a little pocket of clouds south and west of town. Overall, though, a good amount of sunshine. High temperatures, though, not as warm. We should be in the mid-40s. Only 41 here in town earlier today. Bar Harbor and the coast had some low 40s as well, and then some upper 30s, even some mid-30s in some spots where that snowpack is, of course, much, much thicker. We do have some advisories, though. A small craft advisory out till those morning hours tomorrow. So if you are out and about in the waters, be careful out there, folks. Winds pretty howling out there, 20 miles an hour here in town, Millinocket, 17. The coast not looking too bad, but here in town, though, the winds are pretty strong right now. Tonight, though, the winds will start to die down. We're going to have a few clouds overall, but temperatures will be really cold, hovering close to 20 degrees.
All right, thanks, Conrad. More on your forecast later. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, the state expands its emergency order to stop the spread of invasive emerald ash borers. And Redemption Center owners say they're hopeful new legislation will help some of their ongoing issues. We'll have those stories and more local news after this.
Hewitt Lift and Rolodoc creates
the strongest, simplest, and most reliable dock system.
With one simple goal:
to get you on the lake
faster and easier than anyone else.
Because at Hewitt, we build stronger.
After 40 years of quality building, we get it.
Hewitt family builds for your family.
For your family.
For your family.
Stand on the solid foundation of the Hewitt family.
Docks, pontoon legs, and boat lifts.
You work hard, play harder. You deserve a Hewitt.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
There's never been a better time to get away.
with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 0% APR and $500 bonus cash with 0 payments until June on 8 of our most popular models. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
911, what's your emergency?
At any moment, this city could burn. 911, all new this Monday on Fox.
You just never know what you're going to stumble across.
A couple from Aroostook County is putting the Pine Tree Trail back on the state map.
Looking at the potential of what it can do to help all these communities that are struggling, there was really only one answer, and that was to revive it.
We'll have the story of Maine's Forgotten Trail Monday on Fox 22, News at 10.
Welcome back. There were public hearings in Augusta for 3 different bills regarding daylight saving time. Johnny Maffey talked with the lawmakers behind the bills and found out what Mainers think.
It's a half hour before sunrise here in Cape Elizabeth. One of the bills we're talking about today would exempt Maine from daylight savings time, meaning the sun would be here this time of year. But the other 2 bills would keep it like this. If they were to pass, Maine would remain in daylight saving time all year.
State Senator Rick Bennett is behind the bills involving daylight saving time year-round. One would direct UMaine to study the impact of Atlantic time year-round. The other is an act to adopt daylight saving time year-round.
Atlantic time is the equivalent of daylight savings time, and so which we're on for 8 months of the year. So it makes sense to me just to stay on daylight savings time, and that's what I've proposed.
This would mean we keep the late sunsets in the summer.
I actually think the daylight savings time set for Maine year-round is the best option. Gets dark awful early in the day in December, January.
But that would mean later sunrises. State Senator Joe Baldacci is proposing to stay on Eastern Standard Time year-round.
I think that it's really hard for children to get up when it's pitch black out.
The common ground between these 2 options,
I think they should just pick one and stick to it,
is not having to change the clocks back and forth.
We just stick with one time year-round.
I think that the reasons are irrelevant at this point. I think that the reasons that they had in the first place no longer...
A little outdated, maybe.
Exactly.
But some think flip-flopping makes the most sense.
I think it works for where we live.
Maine is expanding the emergency order to help stop the spread of the invasive emerald ash borer. That order restricts the movement of ash trees, green ash waste, firewood, and any other materials that could be a means of emerald ash borer transportation. The expansion follows the discovery of infestations in Corinna and Newport, as well as 2 towns in Oxford County. Those infestations are suspected to be a direct result of humans moving the emerald ash borer as they stow away in wood or other materials. A statement says everyone should be concerned about the future of ash trees in Maine. The expanded order covers Kennebec, Knox, Waldo, Penobscot, Somerset, Piscataquis, and some southern Maine counties. You can get more information at foresthealth@maine.gov. A Bangor antique shop is auctioning off all of its remaining items. Antique Alley has been closed for around a year now following the passing of owner Glenn Hudgens. His wife Renee says running the antique shop was Glenn's dream, and each piece in the store has a story. Since its closure, Renee and her daughter Courtney haven't been able to find a buyer for the storefront. However, many of the items are going up for auction. The family says there's more than 6,000 square feet of space filled with antiques that they need to sell, which is why they'll be auctioning off the items in batches.
Yeah, each piece in here, a lot of them we personally picked up with my father when he was getting going and starting. So it's heartbreaking for us to say goodbye to everything, but each story, each piece, we're looking forward to having a new owner and a little piece of my dad going with them.
The first of many auctions went live earlier today, that batch featuring around 360 items. If you'd like to learn more about the auction and find the link to place a bid, you can visit Antique Alley's Facebook page. With rising costs for some Maine businesses to close, some are hopeful that newly proposed bills could help bring them more help. Our David Ledford spoke with business owners about what's on the horizon.
In the 5 years since we opened downtown in 2016, our labor costs doubled. And our revenue stream stayed exactly the same.
Some Maine legislators are seeking to update Maine's bottle bill. The program originated in 1978, offering Mainers 5 or 15 cents on eligible returnables and helping to keep litter out of the state's natural environments. However, some redemption center owners say that inflation and rising labor costs have put many businesses in a tough position.
It's hard to get help because you're competing with the other places, restaurants and that, which are now paying the higher rate to get employees. And it's creating a problem for the redemption centers throughout the state. If they don't resolve it, you're going to see a lot more that will be closing.
Some redemption centers have made the switch to a self-service business model because, whether it's cans or bottles, the cents just aren't adding up.
We screamed from the rooftops, anybody who would listen, and redempts were closing all over the place. And the decision was we can either close or go to a self-service model, and that was the way we could continue to stay open and stay profitable.
Under current law, redemption centers receive a 4.5-cent handling fee for each returnable collected. Several of the proposed bills seek to change Maine's bottle law. Senate President Troy Jackson's proposed bill, LD 134 SP 73, would increase the fee by more than a penny. If passed, Jackson's bill would mark the second time since 2019 that the handling fee has increased. However, some say that time is an important factor when it comes to the future of Maine's bottle recycling.
If we can't pay our employees, we close, and it's as simple as that.
In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, and when we come right back from break, the latest on what we know about former President Trump's planned appearance in a New York City courtroom on Tuesday. And authorities take in the full scope of the damage from Friday's severe storms that spawned tornadoes across several states. We'll have those stories when we come right back.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has a cost-friendly Kia with your name on it. Choose from our fleet of front-wheel drives, all-wheel drives, hybrids, and fully electric vehicles, all affordable, tech-packed, and great on gas. Check out the all-new 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg highway, or check out the new 2023 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. All come loaded with safety features and are great on gas. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
From the land to the sea, Chase's Family Restaurant is the place to be.
Are you looking for a place to unwind after a long day?
Then come check out our Hideaway Lounge.
With a bar that's both upbeat and laid back. And it's the perfect atmosphere for anyone who wants to unwind after work.
Or kick it up for the weekend with daily drink specials and a full dinner menu.
You can fill up on a good time any night of the week.
Thank you for being a part of our family.
Here at Chase's Family Restaurant.
With AAA Insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA Insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA Insurance, call 866-460-1291 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
We're now 2 days away from the expected arraignment of former President Trump, his legal team getting ready for his surrender on Tuesday. Trump, hoping to use the indictment in his favor, is spending the weekend at Mar-a-Lago. Fox's CB Cotton is at the Manhattan courthouse where he's set to appear.
In less than 48 hours, we expect former President Donald Trump to turn himself in here at the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse. Sources tell Fox News the former president will arrive at 11 a.m., then Trump's arraignment proceedings will begin shortly thereafter at 2:15 p.m. There has been extensive planning and coordination between local, state, and federal law enforcement to include Trump's legal team for this historic moment. Because the indictment is still sealed, we don't know the exact charges or the exact number of counts. Reportedly, there is at least 30, and the charges are expected to be related to Trump's 2016 alleged hush money to two women, including adult film star Stormy Daniels. Trump has denied the affairs and any wrongdoing, but has acknowledged the payments. In this case, DA Alvin Bragg is reportedly attempting to take a misdemeanor charge of falsifying business records and upgrade it to a felony by connecting it to a campaign finance law. Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff has called the indictment a vindication of the rule of law, but Republicans, to include ones who could be political opponents to Trump in the 2024 presidential race, those Republicans have called this case politically motivated, to include former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, who announced his own presidential bid today. Listen.
What is happening here is a shame for America because he's a former president of the United States. But the fact is, thousands of Americans have to go through this process, and we do believe in equal justice of the law. So I don't believe this is a good case to bring. I would not have brought this case based upon the facts that I know.
Trump is not expected to be handcuffed. Sources say this comes after an agreement between Trump's legal team and the DA's office. Trump is also facing other state and federal investigations. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Israeli local media says more than 150,000 people took to the streets on Saturday protesting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to reform the judicial system. Fox's Trey Yingst has more.
For the 13th straight week, tens of thousands of Israelis took to the streets to protest against proposed judicial reforms. Here's a look from the city of Tel Aviv. Israelis gathered overnight in major population centers despite a pledge by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to delay the judicial reforms that would give the ruling party the ability to pick judges and override the Supreme Court. The protests that saw 19 people arrested are expected to continue until the proposals are canceled altogether. With ongoing clashes, there is constant pressure on the Israeli government to address the demands of demonstrators.
Right now, police are using water cannons to try and push demonstrators out of the main highway in Tel Aviv. They've made a number of arrests already, and now they have officers on horseback trying to help clear this main roadway.
There are efforts to find a compromise between the government and the opposition, but so far no significant developments have been announced, leading demonstrators to worry about the future of their country.
Israel has intellectual wealth. In a dictatorship, the intellect does not survive. We need a democracy for this country to survive. That's just a prerequisite. That's it.
The protests come amid the backdrop of ongoing security concerns. Overnight, a Palestinian drove into a group of Israeli soldiers, injuring 3 of them. In Jerusalem, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
White House now facing the hurdle of freeing another American from a Russian prison after the detainment this week in Moscow of a Wall Street Journal reporter. Fox's Alexandria Hoff has that story.
In a phone call today with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Secretary of State Antony Blinken called Gershkovich's arrest unacceptable. The 31-year-old reporter was detained on Wednesday, accused of spying. Gershkovich has been reporting in Russia for 6 years, most recently for the Wall Street Journal, which has adamantly denied Russia's espionage allegations. Its editorial board wrote, "The timing of this arrest looks like a calculated provocation to embarrass the U.S. and intimidate the foreign press still working in Russia." The board also called for the Russian ambassador to the U.S. to be expelled along with Russian journalists. President Biden said Friday that that was not part of the immediate plan and offered this.
To Russia as they're detaining this Wall Street Journal reporter.
Let him go.
In Secretary Blinken's call, the State Department says he also sought the immediate release of Paul Whelan, an American detained in Russia since 2018. You'll remember in December, the Biden administration facilitated the release of WNBA star Brittany Griner. That was a prisoner exchange that freed Russia's so-called merchant of death. Former Chief of Staff for former Vice President Mike Pence said this today on Fox News Sunday.
I'm glad we got Brittany Griner back, but the exchange for a known terrorist, I think, has only encouraged Putin to do this more. And this is not something that's unique to him. It's what despots do across the globe, is to jail journalists. We need to have a much stronger reaction. We should be kicking out all diplomats from Russia today.
Brittany Griner weighed in on social media last night, urging the Biden administration to use every tool possible to bring all Americans home. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
At least 29 people are dead after tornadoes touched down this weekend across a huge swath of the middle of the country. The White House is pledging help, but there's still a long road ahead to recovery. Fox Weather's Max Gordon has the latest.
The death toll rising overnight from a severe weather system that wreaked havoc on the South and Midwest. The massive storm spawning potentially dozens of tornadoes across 11 states. It could take several more days to get an official count, as even more touched down Saturday in Delaware and New Jersey. Those who rode out the storm say they came in an instant and sounded like a freight train.
I didn't see nothing, but I heard everything boom, boom, boom. I heard cross street the building coming down. It just was terrible.
In some towns, entire neighborhoods were wiped out in a matter of minutes.
No way in the world did I ever think about that I'd be walking through neighborhoods that I used to ride my bike through and just see mass devastation. We see that on the national news, whether it's a war in Ukraine or whatever, and that's quite frankly what this looks like, is a war zone.
President Biden on Sunday declaring a major disaster in Arkansas. The governor there activating the National Guard as search and rescue operations continued. People living here just grateful to have made it out in one piece.
When it hit me last night when I tucked both of them in, and I had a roof over my head, and I had running water and heat and electricity, and they were in their bed safe. And then you see what these people are going through, and devastation isn't even the word.
The White House has pledged to provide states with whatever they need in the recovery process. In Little Rock, Arkansas, Max Gordon, Fox Weather.
And coming up, a proposed bill would set new guidelines for concussion protocol here in Maine. And Mason's Brewing Company takes to social media in its fight against a disturbing trend. Stay with us.
Wednesday. Is the search for love too much for the farmers?
Don't give up on me yet.
What's the holdup?
All new Farmer Wants a Wife, Wednesday at 9 on Fox.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are paramount.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy-here, pay-here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
Maine Commercial Solar offers a variety of services including solar systems design, sales, maintenance, and installation. Maine Commercial Solar can help you with existing or new systems. We offer packages for installation by others, or we can help you build your own solar array, smaller residential, or anything in between. Maine Commercial Solar is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions. We offer competitive pay, a 3% IRA match, vacation, holiday time, and a family-oriented environment. If interested, please call Jason at 848-7486.
News doesn't happen in a newsroom, it happens out here in our communities.
It's more than just the headlines, it's stories of regular people doing extraordinary things.
And every morning on Good Morning Maine, we'll bring you those unique stories.
Stories that you won't see anywhere else.
And no matter what your plans are, we'll keep you prepared with a look at your local weather forecast for the day ahead.
Better Mornings start right here.
Weekday mornings starting at 6 on Fox 22's Good Morning Maine.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Welcome back. Mason's Brewing Company and brewer is using social media to crack down on a concerning trend. Our Matthew Jurancic has more.
So we noticed one, it was a couple weeks ago, and then we had two back-to-back nights.
What Mason's Brewing Company owner Jake Bridges is referring to here is known as a dine and dash, or when diners leave an establishment without paying. Seeing an increase in the amount of dine and dash incidents, he decided to do something. Bridges took to Facebook, singling out those who took off without paying with a picture of them and their faces covered with smiley faces, calling them Mason's Guests of the Week.
So we thought, hey, we're going to throw it out there, see one if we could maybe get these people to pay, and then also bring attention to it.
In just a day, the post generated a ton of comments calling out the guilty parties and demanding they settle up inside the restaurant. Customers agreed. Dine and Dashers deserve this.
I think that people should be held accountable for making those choices, and when you're making a decision that negatively impacts your community, I think your community should hold you accountable for that.
People that do, obviously, are a different tier of morality. It's just a little disrespectful.
Bridges understands people can make mistakes. However, he highlights the importance of the unwritten rule in the restaurant industry.
I want you to enjoy yourself, great food, great drinks, have just an overall wonderful experience. And then, of course, we're in the business of hospitality. So then the agreement is you pay.
In Bangor, Matthew Jurancic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
I think a really creative way to address that issue there from Mason's. Such great people over there, and I think that they handled this issue with class. And an update for you, Mason's has since identified the people in those photos and says everyone stepped forward to pay their tab. So a nice ending there. Well, meanwhile, concerned parents are asking for more consistent concussion protocols in school sports. A bill in Augusta would set a clear standard for what to do when your child gets concussed. Asia Reed spoke with a former high school athlete who says his history of concussions ended his chances to keep playing.
Some state leaders are behind a bill requiring youth sports organizations and schools to follow specific protocols if an athlete sustains a head injury.
I got hit in the head again.
Senator Joe Baldacci in Bangor says concerned parents of a high school football player were worried about how concussions are handled. Baldacci says the proposed bill would update the existing concussion and injury prevention protocols for young student athletes.
No, I think it's definitely important to...
Chris Theodores is a sophomore at St. Joseph's College. He says he suffered 3 concussions while playing soccer at middle and high school, with a few minor head injuries. Theodores thinks Maine schools should have more clearly set guidelines for what to do when a student suffers a concussion.
The last diagnosed concussion I had was very serious. I was left unconscious in my last high school soccer game.
Theodore says because of these multiple concussions, he can no longer play soccer.
I think having more strict protocols would definitely keep kids out for the right amount of time.
Baldacci claims not every school in Maine has the same rules when it comes to dealing with sports concussions.
There are hundreds of school districts in Maine, and we have very uneven application.
The bill states that student athletes with head injuries must complete a return-to-play protocol for at least 7 days and be monitored by a medical professional.
It's important to have a standard that involves a medical professional.
The proposed bill requires that a medical professional gives written permission for the athlete to return to play. Theodores believes this protocol would also help students from themselves. He admits that he sometimes would avoid telling medical professionals about his head injuries so that he could keep playing.
A lot of kids are probably putting the sport ahead of their brain, and I definitely did that up to a certain point.
Baldacci says the bill has gotten a lot of support, including endorsements from the Maine CDC and the Acquired Brain Injury Advisory Council of Maine. He says the bill was modeled after California's statute, which has one of the most up-to-date protocols in the country. Asia Reed, CBS 13 News.
All right, and earlier we got a glimpse of what our forecast was looking like. We're going to have that expanded version for you coming right up after the break.
Temperatures were below average today. Take a look at this, 30s and 40s. The coast, same story, but warmer temperatures will be rolling on in. Much warmer weather. When and how warm we'll get, well, you got to tune in to find out.
Electrify Maine is Maine's #1 electrical contractor, providing outstanding electrical services to businesses, industries, and homes throughout the state. Electrify Maine also sells and installs heat pumps and is a licensed Generac dealer. Call us today for a free estimate. General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine with equipment and tool rentals for more than 30 years. Our extensive inventory contains everything you need to get the job done right. Our professional, knowledgeable staff is here to make sure that you get the highest quality rental items to complete your project and that they have been serviced and maintained to the highest standards. Power brooms to get that sand off the lawn, leaf blowers, brush chippers, stump grinders, aerial lifts, tillers, and excavators. We rent most everything. If you don't see it in our online catalog, please ask for it. If we don't have the item you need, we would be happy to help you find it.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
For the first half of his life, Ed Bushy hid his inability to read from everyone until a crisis led him to confront his secret. So he called literacy volunteers at Bangor. He got a tutor and he learned to read. For the rest of his life, Ed promoted literacy to anyone who would listen. Ed's granddaughter, Kayla, was listening. Her grandfather's story inspired her to volunteer as a literacy tutor. Like Kayla, you can help us reach and teach people like Ed. The need is great, especially now. Become a tutor with Literacy Volunteers today.
Electrify Maine is Maine's #1 electrical contractor, providing outstanding electrical services to businesses, industries, and homes throughout the state. Electrify Maine also sells and installs heat pumps and is a licensed Generac dealer. Call us today for a free estimate.
The Bristol Dirt Race. Chaos will ensue. The NASCAR Cup Series, Bristol, Easter Sunday on Fox.
It's Sunday. We made it. Happy Sunday, folks. Tomorrow we turn the times and back to work, right? Monday, the work week begins. The weather, though, was pretty nice out there today. We had a good amount of sunshine, few passing clouds, temperatures not so mild out there, but most of the country is pretty calm. We do have a little low-pressure system down south by Oklahoma, and same story by Texas. Another quick-moving system now crossing into Canada at the moment. Winnipeg in Canada getting a rain and snow mix. That's how you know spring is finally here, where even in Canada there's a rain and snow mix. And for us, signs of that have been arriving. Look at the next 5, 6, 7 days. Pretty much no snow for us at all. That's how warm it's going to be. So we finally turn the page and it's pretty much spring, let's say. Our average high should be around 47 degrees. Look at Tuesday. Wow, 55. A quick cool down by Wednesday and a nice quick rebound by Thursday back into the 50s. And then by next weekend, we're looking at 40, so closer to average temperatures, but still 50s. Wow, we will take those. I am so excited. Take a look at the last 2 weeks, though. Really, really mild temperatures besides the last 3 days. But overall, though, it's been pretty mild. Not only the last couple of weeks, couple of months, but pretty much all winter. It's been mild in the Northeast. Temperatures earlier today, 41 degrees, 40 in Bar Harbor. Waterville, a little pocket of cooler air. Temperatures in those upper 30s. Up north, though, thick snowpack, keeping those temperatures cold. No snowpack in Texas. Look at these 90s in St. Angelo. Amazing, amazing stuff. Of course, in Florida, 80s and 90s. And look how far north the warm air went, all the way into Wisconsin. Green Bay, 40s. Minneapolis, 46. International Falls, 40 degrees. So even some 30s and 40s made its way into the bottom parts of Canada. Tonight, though, it's going to get pretty cold. Temperatures hovering close to 20 degrees. Mostly clear skies, and the winds will be blowing at out of the northwest at around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, a nice day and a warmer day at that. Temperatures around 42 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and the winds will be an issue once again out of the southwest this time, 10 to 25 miles an hour. Our extended forecast outlook does show very mild temperatures back in the forecast on Tuesday. That's going to be the day you want to go outside, enjoy the sunshine and the mild temperatures. Wednesday, though, we're going to have more chances of rain, cooler temperatures. Thursday, we warm up once again, but we will have some rain showers in the area. And then finally, by Friday, we are in the clear. Temperatures slightly below average, hovering in those mid-40s.
Wow, so a lot of sunshine and a lot of really decent temperatures there on our 5-day forecast. Looking good. Thanks so much, and we'll be right back with sports coming up.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Pepper's Landing is the definition of authentic Maine dining. Named in honor of our grandfather, the primary focus at Pepper's Landing is offering a variety of fresh, locally harvested seafood to all. We take pride in our quality and selection, but it doesn't end with just seafood. We also offer delicious selections of burgers, pasta, steaks, and more. So stop in to any of our locations and see what Pepper's Landing is all about.
Right now, Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
At Hood, our love for New England inspired New England Creamery. We make it with premium Hood milk and cream, then we overload it with the good stuff. Like Green Mountain Mint chip with a rich fudgy swirl. Maine Sweet Blueberry with real delicious blueberries. And Cape Cod Fudge Shop, packed with fudgy truffles. Hood's New England Creamery, from Hood, for New England. Try all 13 flavors.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Let me make this right.
You can tell me the truth.
Accused, Tuesday on Fox.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for sticking in. Let's start on the Diamond Down East, where Ellsworth softball is entering 2023 on a mission. Last year, the second-seeded Eagles were eliminated by 6-seed Herman in the North Regional semis. This year, they are returning nearly all of their players, including second-team All-PVC shortstop Aaliyah Manning and first-team All-PVC catcher Sophie Lynch. To say that second-year head coach Brandy Ensworth is confident in her team's abilities would be an understatement.
It's awesome having a group coming back with so few that we had to, only losing 2. They've got a good chemistry already. I think our bat's going to be really good. I mean, we bring back our 3 leading hitters this season, so that's going to be fantastic. We've got a great pitching core, so that's really awesome too.
And knowing the talent that they have and their hunger, the Eagles have all the tools in place to win a state title. It would be the first in team history, and they say it's their time to cash in on the championship atmosphere still fresh in Ellsworth.
We just want to come back and bounce back and go as far as possible. I mean, we're looking to go all the way and just got to work at it. And the feeling from last year losing to Herman, we don't want to feel that again.
This year's the year. The girls just came back, got the first state tournament for basketball. I think it's time for softball.
We shall see. Speaking of state titles, there was a huge state championship meet in Bangor Saturday for a sport that you might not be used to. I know I'm not. At G-Force Entertainment, hundreds of people competed and hundreds more gathered for the Maine Arm Wrestling Championships. Men, women, senior, and teen competitors were crowned champions across several weight classes, with each overall winner receiving $1,000. It was the first state championships in Maine in several years, and for a sport that's well past its heyday in the state, their turnout was endearing to longtime enthusiasts like Badger Drews.
It was bigger than it is now. It's almost non-existent. So far, the tournament has been a huge success. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know we registered 150 pullers last night, and there's at least that today. So that's big. That's old school big. Like, it's what it was when I started.
And for those of you looking to possibly become a puller, yes, that's the correct term, or just get a one-up on your buddies, Alex Tardif, a member of the Twin City Pullers, a local arm wrestling team, has some tips for you to get the pinfall.
A lot of it is just static strength, being able to keep your arm tight to your body and be able to bend your wrist and control the other person's hand. You're trying to bend the other person's hands open. So it's a battle, it's a hand battle.
I guarantee you that will not make a difference for me. Anyways, let's head up to Orono. Maine baseball swept their doubleheader Friday against UMass Lowell. They tried to get the series sweep on Saturday. Black Bears also looking to go 6-0 in America East play. Top of the fifth, Maine up 2-1. Lowell's Jerry Siracusa rips one into right center. Connor Kelly comes in to score, and it's tied at 2. Bottom 5 now. Maine's Quinn McDaniel. Call him Quinn McDingers. This one is going to clear the wall for a solo shot to give the Black Bears a 3-2 lead. Top of the 6th now. They went back and forth. Here's Lowell's Ryan Proto with a drive into left field. That one's going to go to the wall, and Fritz Genther scores to make it a 3-3 tie. Finally, bottom of that inning, Black Bears up 4-3, and Dylan McNary with a man on drills one to right center. That's a 2-run shot to make it 6-3, and that would be the final. Black Bears sweep the Riverhawks. Okay, now let's shift gears up the road to Husson. Earlier this week, the Eagles announced officially their 2023 football schedule, and we have all of the games for you right here. The Eagles start their season on September 2nd at home against Norwich. Homecoming game is the 23rd against Anna Maria. And then conference play starts on October 14th against Curry and goes all the way through the end of the season. Got Western New England, Endicott, the Lobster Trap game against UNE, and finally away at Nichols on November 18th. Okay, how about some women's lacrosse to close out? Husson hosted UMaine Farmington Saturday in their conference opener. Let's start first quarter. Husson already up 1-0. Maddie Benoit loses it, picks it up, and puts it in. 2-0 Eagles. Under a minute left in the quarter now. Natalie Witten has it for Husson. Nice pass into Avery Baker. The multiple-time NAC Rookie of the Week scores. It's her third of the quarter. Husson leads 4-0 after 1. To the second, Farmington gets on the board. Abby Trefsgar catches Ruby McMinnis. Nice backhand shot gets in. It's 4-1, but it would be all Husson from there. Here's Layla Martinez from behind the goal. She finds a charging Devin Viets, and she scores. That makes it 6-1 Eagles. They would go on to win 15-2. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudall. We'll be back right after the break.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
I'm 82 years old and I have collapsed arches, which means the first thing that hits the ground is the bone in my arch. I came to Comfort Shoes 4 years ago because I couldn't walk without pain. And she spent so much time on my feet getting the right shoe, and we finally found the right pair. Once you made these orthotics for me, I have no pain. These are so comfortable. I have no discomfort. I feel like I could go running, and I thank you and Comfort Shoes for that.
Come try one of our daily specials at Pat's Pizza in Hamden.
Tuesday, spaghetti or ziti with meatballs or sausage, only $5.50.
Wednesday, large one-topping pizza, only $8.50.
Thursday, get an oven-baked wrap for only $6.
Friday is fish and fries for only $8.
And Saturday, get a small one-item pizza with a fountain soda, only $8.
Bring the family to Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road, North Hamden.
There's never been a better time to get away.
with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Lease an Ioniq 5 for $539 a month, including a $7,500 EV lease bonus. Hurry in.
3, 2, 1, go.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
It's an epic new season with weekly themes and a special new twist.
What? Somebody's messing with us.
The Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
Welcome back. Paralympic track star Noelle Lambert teed off this week at the Falmouth Country Club as part of Drive for Kids Celebrity Golf Tournament. Lambert is the United States record holder for the 100-meter dash. She's also a contestant on season 43 of Survivor. Lambert lost her leg in a moped accident. Afterward, she returned to playing collegiate lacrosse, picked up track and field, and now she's taking on golf.
I love to say yes to a lot of different things. I love to show everybody in the world that amputees are as capable as doing basically anything with their lives.
From the golf tournament went towards the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital. A long list of former Boston athletes also took part in the golf tournament, including Roger Clemens, Tim Wakefield, Kevin Miller, and Tuukka Rask. Some great company to be in there, and I love her message. All right, well, finally tonight, after the sudden loss of Holden Police Chief Chris Greeley, one man in the Holden Fire Department wanted to honor the chief, and what better way to do so than to give to the charity that Greeley started himself. And with that, these bracelets were created for a $5 cash donation to Holden's 25 Days of Kindness campaign. You can take one of these commemorative bracelets home. It's a way to remember Chief Greeley and to add to his legacy with a small donation.
Super beneficial for our department and the police department to really work together after such a tragic issue or loss to our community and to our public safety group here. So I think it means a lot for us to really bond together after that, and this has really brought us really close.
You can stop by the town hall or fire department during normal business hours to pick up a bracelet. They've only ordered 500 and already sold more than 100. They only take cash, so keep that in mind before you go. And here's hoping those bracelets sell out and they're able to keep going and keep funding the 25 Days of Kindness Fund. Just such a great initiative and certainly a great legacy that Chief Greeley leaves behind. All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in and have a great rest of your evening.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving.